She was born into a world that did not soften its hands for her, in a small, quiet town, where red dirt stained bare feet and silence often hid pain. A baby girl arrived too early, too fragile, and too unseen. Her cries blended with the creaking floors of a home already heavy with hardship. She was raised by a grandmother whose love was strict, whose discipline was heavy, and whose own wounds shaped the way she survived. Food was scarce. Warmth was conditional. Childhood was not a place of laughter, but a test of endurance. Her skin was deep, black, beautiful, rich and strong, yet the world treated it as a burden. From her earliest days, she learned that her color invited cruelty before she even spoke. She was told, without words, that she was less worthy, less valuable, less safe. Before she was even old enough to understand what innocence meant, it was taken from her. She was abused by those who should have protected her, betrayed by blood, and left carrying a pain too heavy for a child's heart. Shame wrapped around her like a second skin. She believed the lies whispered to her that she was broken, that she deserved the suffering, that silence was her only refuge. At just 14, her body carried another wound: pregnancy. She gave birth to a baby boy, only to lose him days later. The grief hollowed her. She mourned not just a child, but the little girl she never got to be. She returned to school with eyes that had seen too much, carrying a sorrow that no one bothered to ask about. Yet inside her lived something stubborn, a quiet flame that refused to die. She discovered words, how they could lift her out of the darkness. She spoke, and people listened. She read, and the world grew larger than her pain. Education became her escape, not because it erased her past, but because it gave her a future. She woke before dawn, worked harder than anyone expected, and walked into rooms where she was often the only black girl, the only one who looked like her, the only one who carried such invisible scars. But even when success came knocking, it did not arrive gently. She faced rejection after rejection. She was told she was too emotional, too loud, too black, too much. Television executives doubted her appearance, her voice, her authenticity. They wanted her polished, muted, reshaped into something more acceptable. She refused. She chose truth over comfort. She chose vulnerability over perfection. She spoke about pain when others avoided it. She listened when others talked over the hurting. She cried openly on camera, not because she was weak, but because she was brave enough to feel. Slowly, the same traits once used against her became the reason millions leaned in. Her black skin, once mocked and dismissed, became a symbol of pride and power. She stood tall in it. She honored where she came from. She carried her story not as a chain, but as a torch lighting the way for others still trapped in darkness. Behind the fame, the wealth, and the applause, she never forgot the little girl who slept hungry, who felt unlovable, who survived unspeakable pain. Every single achievement was an act of defiance against a past that tried to break her. And at the end of this long road, this life carved by suffering, resilience, and truth, the world finally learned her name. That little black girl with the wounded heart and unbreakable spirit was Oprah Winfrey. Her story teaches us a profound lesson. Your past does not disqualify you from greatness. Pain can shape you, but it does not have to define you. Even in the deepest darkness, your voice matters, and when you choose to rise with truth, courage, and compassion, you can turn your scars into strength and your story into hope. Thank you for watching.